Hey, welcome back. Design Elements and Principles, Session 9, Part B. Hope everybody's doing great. What's in the news today? Weather's starting to turn for once, which is nice. And I don't watch sports, but on the way in on NPR, I heard it's the Brewers opening day. They'll have a good day for that. That's a lot of fun. But we have a lot of fun too. We have a pamphlet design. What I think will be your first folding design that you've ever done. If not, congratulations, you've done other things. But I want you to know, just like the poster design, when we did the layouts in the layout section, the pamphlet design needs the what you did for the InDesign project. So if you didn't do it, you have to do it. You better do it sooner than later because all the instructions are there. So that's why that's there. So sorry for the stutter through there. As always, we know what to do. We do our quick little attendance session. Start attempt, continue. What is contrast? There we go. Continue. Done. All right. So make sure you do your attendance. We went over balance. We went over what a serif and a sans serif is that is needed for the Tuesday's assignments. You need to know the difference between types of fonts. Hierarchy in the textbook. Hierarchy. That is why we graphic design. I'm sort of not kidding, but the main reason people hire graphic designers is to get their messages out in the correct way. And the way to get it out in the correct way is hierarchy. So I could go on and there's a million reasons why we hire graphic designers to do our stuff. It makes it visually appealing, and but one of the big ones there, and I'm not kidding, is hierarchy. If we didn't interact with hierarchy, all the information that we have would be exactly at the same level. You know what I mean? It like everybody would just talk in a monotone or yell and blah blah. Hierarchy helps us decide what's most important, what's second important, what's third important, or like what's not important at all, but just needs to be on the page. So that's what hierarchy is all about. And understanding and deciding that. Your client will let you know, or you as a graphic designer will be like, this is the most important part. That should look different, be different than this part. And that's hierarchy. We'll talk about it later. It's coming up in our order of items to talk about. But when we're dealing with the principles of design, all of those revert back to hierarchy. Every principle that we'll talk about, some way I'm going to talk about hierarchy. It's a great way to show hierarchy in design. So, go through this here, great section right here. Table of contents. It's in order for a reason, but what's wrong with this picture? I don't know. Yeah, well, oh yeah, this is showing like page numbers are stretched across. Here they have it a little more concise. Just take a look through here. Oh, just like fun little examples of how to use hierarchy, how to get things to stick out. This is like this little run through right here with this no hierarchy, right? This is the kicker right here. And then, oh, I can read, what is it? Oh, I can read it there. Oh, I know it sticks out. I can read it there. Oh, it's separated up. Like this is such a great little explanation on how to use hierarchy, what it's all about. And it's how we emphasize when we talk, what's most important, what's less important. We actually talk with inflection and all that stuff. It's the same thing. You don't walk into say you walked into a store and with a salesperson, and the first thing they started telling you was like, hey, just so you know, upon purchase and the receipt of this product, we will blah, 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 blah. And they start telling you all about the legalese. And you're like, what? Wait, what are you talking about? And then somewhere else, and they're like, yeah, and then there's a 20% off sale. And they tell you that later, and you're like, well, why didn't you lead with that? Why didn't you tell me like, hey, there's a 20% off sale? and to let you know. Just we have to let you know about this legalese part. You don't lead with that, right? You need to know, like, what's most important? What do I want to grab people's attention with? So that's what hierarchy is all about. Take a gander. Let me know what you thought. Have some fun with it. Project B Part 1. Template research. Thumbs. This won't take you long. This is all about what you've been doing already, somewhat. You know how to create a presentation. You know how to get images from the internet. You know how to grab text from here or there. And you should know how to do some little tiny sketches. Actually, I don't have mine open. Get that ready for us. So what you are going to be doing is you are, step 1, create a working presentation template. The presentation template must be 16 by 9 in format, just like we've been doing. 16 by 9 in format. Here I got a little template, but this is going to include multiple pages. I'll do the bigger one. I have all this downloaded. Why am I opening up that version, eh? Downloads. All right. So this is just the baseline startup, right? Nothing to it. We got our opening page, Project B, your name, class name, instructor's name. Great. You'll have a slide, intro slide, Project B Part 1, research and thumbnails. You'll have a page in which you need to have the graphic designer name and photo. You'll need a page where you'll have 5 graphic design examples from that graphic designer. You'll have a page where you'll have 2 paragraphs about your graphic designer. And you need to know the site. Where did you get the information? One website, 2 websites, great, just list them out. And then you'll do your graphic designer pamphlet thumbnails. There's 3 pages there. You will have 3 thumbnails for this project. So when you start up, you can literally just like be like, step 1, create, okay, I can create it, boom. Because like step 2 is follow the simple template provided and make sure you create all necessary pages for your final presentation. This isn't for the final. This is just to get you rolling, but we'll call it final presentation for this, as you will be adding pages as you complete your research concepts and final presentation. So you will be adding onto this. It's going to be like a booklet, and it's going to be your whole design process from beginning to end. All right, so that's what we're doing on that one, so that's how it's going to work, and that's why you do that little template. Again, you've done this. It's just a multi-page template. You can do it in Google Slides. Find a cool slide and work with it. All right, step 3. Discover a graphic designer that you would like to work on. It can be any graphic designer from anywhere in the world in any time period. Nice stuff. All right, cool. Any graphic designer from anywhere in the world in any time period. I think I know who I would do, but I don't know anything. Look at this. If I do top 10 graphic designers. Wow, look at that. I even better. 40, 21, 20. And you know what you do? You know what I always do when I do this stuff? You open each one in a new tab. Okay. And then you look at them. Boom. You know the little table of contents. And what we want to do is go through. Okay. In this article, Jessica Walsh, John Contino. Okay. And we're going to look through. And you know what I'm seeing? This isn't what I want. 40 of the most famous graphic designers. Okay. Oh, like these are blended in. Like they're kind of, to me, this is not, okay, Jessica Walsh, John Contino. And you just kind of go through. There we go. There's the list. So, and you look through those and you're like, what stands out to you? What is your like, oh, I love, oh yeah, that's cool. And like scroll through and find one of these that you like, find it like the design work is super cool. And like I said, go crazy. Look at this. Look how awesome that is. I don't know what the tubes are about. I like them and I hate them. It's very cool. I mean, look at that color. Tubes are used everywhere. What are the tubes about? I need to know more about the tubes. That's cool. I mean, and dig around. Find somebody. Abstract. If you guys don't know about Abstract, it's on Netflix. And it's a documentary series all about designers from graphic design, illustration, auto design, set design, photography. It is so good. If you're not watching it, you're out of the loop. So dig through, find somebody, or you know, like this seems like more recent, which is great. Maybe I have to pick. I had one, and now I think I'm going to switch because I have to work on my poster as well for you guys. So find a graphic designer. That's all I did. Top 10 graphic designers in a Google search, and you just get a ton of stuff. Dig around. Find your favorite graphic designer. Step 4, gather following items for your pamphlet design from the internet. We need the graphic designer. I need their name and we need a photo. You should be able to find that on the internet. A minimum of 5 examples of their work. Please make sure it's their work and not people's work that looks like their work. You will run into that. You will run into that problem when you do the searches. If you do somebody who's older, Saul Bass, CB Pinelli's, like some of these other people, you may find people who are doing parodies of their work. God, I hate parodies is a wrong word, but it's like, you know, I did a Star Wars posters in the style of Saul Bass. All right, great. But make sure you don't mistake that as Saul Bass has done that design. So make sure when you gather your 5, and I'd gather more. It says a minimum. If you have more, it actually makes it better. 2 paragraphs about the graphic designer. Once you find your graphic designer, just do a search on that graphic designer, right? Just look up their name, put graphic design behind it. There's always going to be an about page. We're just making a little like about page about them. That and the site where you got your written information. So if you get it from 2 places, great. Just get the 2 websites in there, you know. And I feel like there used to be a way to like you could shorten websites. Like what's the only part that I need for copying and pasting? I don't know if they do that anymore. I don't even know what that wasn't. Okay, so that's what you need to do. All right. Easy peasy. Graphic designer name and photo. A minimum of 5 examples of the work. 2 paragraphs about the graphic designer and a site or sites where you got the written information. Finally, draw 3 thumbnail sketches for your pamphlet. The final size of the pamphlet will be 11 by 8.5. So that's a single piece of paper folded in half. All right. Single piece of paper folded in half. You do not have to sketch that big. People do this, and if you want to, great. It actually takes forever. That if you're like, take a full piece of paper, fold it in half, and like draw out what you want 3 times, like that's a lot of work. You can just make them smaller and draw a rectangle, and that will help. I'll show you some quick ideas. A lot of them deal with if you have to have a printer at your house, or you don't. You can use your laptop screen gently, and I'll talk it through. And then you need to just do your sketches. So let's look at some of these examples that I have and whatnot, and then I will show you some sketches as well. All right. We have I'm going to show you the pamphlet layout. You've done this. You can print this. This is to remind you of how it goes, that the cover is here, the back cover is here, and then page 1 and page 2. This is one of those things that it's always confusing. To this day, me teaching and working, I still have to sometimes create with a little piece of paper, create my mock-up and be like, okay, and then I have to lay out the pages because I'm like, I'm going to be confused. It's not just, it's not like we used to think where it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. No, it depends on the first page and this and that and the other thing. So it does get fairly confusing once you get into more publication design and you start having more and more pages. But just having a simple like, oh, we need a small catalog. Okay, just note like how we're printing it is it will be cover is here, the back cover is over here. Because it helps with directionality too of a design in the end. So you kind of like, I was saying like a lot of times if we have a person, let's undo that. I'm drawing with the wrong screen. So if you have a person, we want them facing this way because this looks toward the opening of how you'd open the book. If they're looking this way, it's looking toward the back of the book. It's little psychological things that aren't always thought about, but that help you want to lead the person around. And then, so sometimes that's kind of important of like, which way are they looking in the photo? Check magazines. So this is just to remind you. I'll show you some other things. Let's show you a student example. Here we got a nice little example. Lead-in page. Lucien Bernard, a German-American graphic designer. There, his name, what he is, photo, easy. 5 examples of his work. If you are, excuse me, if you were in my Illustrator class, you may recognize this piece right here. The 2 paragraphs about the designer. The site. This is actually very true, but everyone knows him as Bernard. Everybody, yeah. If you ask, I would say, oh, it's Bernard. But yes. And here is the sketches. Down and dirty, if I may say, nice and simple. Where are you going to put the information? Why do we do thumbnail sketches? Well, thumbnail sketches are the quickest way to get ideas from your head out onto a substrate. You can do digital sketches 100%. If you have an iPad and you're using Fresco or Procreate, if you can draw and you have a drawing tablet, you can draw in the Photoshop. I do digital sketching now. I don't do it on paper. I do it on paper. Not as much as I used to, but when I did a big fold out, I'm working on another project for another class, and I actually have the piece of paper, and I went through 5 paper iterations. So I still do it, but I do draw, but I scale it and stuff like that. And then here we have it. They have, this is the cover, and I'm gonna have a picture, and it wrote in like, this is what I'm gonna have, and then draw, and then like there's gonna be 3 images, and they even labeled the images that they want, and here's the information. It's fairly simple, but we need to figure out where we want the stuff. And if you do it directly into the computer and you do it once, you're stuck with it in the computer once. There's nothing creative about your first initial design. So that's why we do another one. Okay, what if I change some things around? Maybe the image is bigger, his name real big up here, switch some things around. Or what if it always jumps. The thing always jumps over one. Or here, I'm going to do it like more laid out and move this here, move that. That's all it is. You have just a few items But you want to be able to be like, what if I put this here? What if I put that there? What if I move it over here? Think of it, and this just came to me, as redecorating a room. We want to put furniture in the room. Where should we put it? Well, you want to be able to have the chance to move things around. Like, oh, let's move the sofa over here and the chair over here. That ain't working. All right, let's move this chair over here and this chair over here. Okay, so you go through iterations. That's not working. We're going to move things. We're going to remodel. We're going to and that's the whole process. You know, it's the same thing. So that's why you do these little sketches. Here's another one. Jessica Walsh. There she is. That's her logo. 5 graphic design pieces. Two abouts. The sites. And the sketches. This was done. This was done on a sketchbook, as you can see. We got the cover, back cover, page 1, page 2, nicely labeled. And then they did their fancy drawings. They even did some sketches and just kind of laying things out. Where do I want stuff? I'm going to say Jessica Walsh, wispy text, photo of Jessica on the back, big logo, fluid vibe. And here they have the title, and then this is the information and the images. There's more ideas. This must have come from something. I don't know if that is in our examples. There must be from like something, an example that the student had seen. For the cover, again, big logo on the back, and here they have the title, and then look at this. They did info about the piece, info about this piece, pattern quote. Like they're thinking about different parts. What can I do? What can I make it do to make it more interesting as a designer? And then, like, you know, a person, her with her hands up, kind of like tattooing, Jessica Walsh. And then the images. And again, oh, and these are legs coming in. Very funny. Image, missing some images. Other images will be the body paint graphics. Well, there we go. So just having some fun. Just having some fun. These shouldn't take you long. A thumbnail sketch is meant to be quick and easy, and it's to get your ideas out. These are pretty in-depth right now. We're going to go through a second round of the sketch process. To do what we do is we tighten up the sketches. So it's not that bad. But like one thing, I'll open up and I'll just talk a little bit longer and tell you about the other parts. I'm going to do this. Go to your files. All right. I'm just trying to, excuse me, to see if I had any other sketches. But this was for the this is for the, that's us, intro. All right, add a new page. All right, so I have, what I did is I just moved my assignment over to a different screen because I'm drawing on another screen. I have 2 screens. Wonderful stuff you can use if you come into MATC and work directly with me. Then I have my little drawing page, and I'm going to get things started. I just clicked on something by mistake. So, work area. All right, so I have the graphic designer name and phone. So first things first, let's Doesn't have to be perfect. Now I'm going to zoom in. All right. And then so, I mean, they're not squares. This isn't great. What I would really normally do is if you take that page that I showed you with those layouts, you can open this up on your screen. Let me get it. And if you make it smaller, I'll just show you what I'm gonna do. And then you take a piece of paper and you put it lightly on your screen and you just mark the corners and then you connect the dots. And that will be a completely in proportion design. So what I can do is I can do a screenshot and then bring that into my drawing program, which is Photoshop. So I could even undo this, edit, undo. Because the other part is the closer you are on your sketches, the better off you'll be. In the end, just simply because if you do it way wonky and it's like 2 squares and not the 8.5, 11 folded by in half, then when you bring that in to do your final project, you're gonna be like, oh, it's not quite working right. It's not, why isn't it fitting? And it's like, it was way off base. So here, I just bring this in, I can make this small. And then I could even like duplicate this in my drawing program. Turn those off because I'll move them over. I'm gonna start a new layer. And I can even turn this one down to 50. Go right here. And then draw on top of it. And I'm just gonna think about what I have to put in it. So got here. Cover, back cover. So like maybe, yeah, like once I get the, if I know the name, like, so maybe I'll do like, this would be first name. And I'm gonna do a really big chunky last name. And then in the middle, that's the portrait. So I've talked about that before. To show a picture, you do a box with an X in it. So first name, last name, photo of the person, back cover. I'm gonna come to the back cover last. Like I'm gonna go in order. And we have 5 images to place, right? So then I'm thinking, okay, so I need the name, the photo, 5 images, and 2 paragraphs. That needs to go in each one. So name, check. Photo, check. 5 images. Well, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do 6. Because what if I do like a little pattern, and then I'm gonna do like, and then I'm gonna flow the text in. Well, you know what? Even though, you know what? Even because it's not that much text, I know it's like 2 paragraphs. I'm actually gonna do this, and I'm just gonna have the text be like right here. And maybe like you just do like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know, like just these big numbers, and then this is the information about the designer. It's kind of might be kind of cool. And that's it. So like that's the thought process behind what you need to do. And you should be able to knock these out 10 minutes. The other thing is if you're like this, I'm not happy with it, start over. Throw it away. Don't keep pounding at the same one. Like, I'll keep it for now, and then I'll move on. If you don't like it, you don't like it. But also sometimes you have to get the idea out of your head, and then you move on to the next one. So it's 3 thumbnails, and you're just thinking, where am I going to put the name? Oops. Where am I going to put the name? Where am I going to put the photo? Where am I going to put 5 or more images? And where am I going to put the 2 paragraphs? That's it. And you just kind of work it from there. So that's what we need to do. And I want 3 versions. And it shouldn't, like, they shouldn't be exactly the same. Try some stuff out. Look at what the person designed. Whoever your designer is, take a look at it and be like, oh, I want to kind of look at their design and emulate it. And I want to do it like this, that, or the other. And take a look and see what you can knock out. Yeah. Is there any questions about this? All right, cool. Well, you know how to reach me if you do have questions, comments, or concerns. Just, again, simple fact gathering with some sketches. We all can do it. It's due in a week. So step 1, create the working presentation. That'll take you no time at all. You know how to do those. And I have an example. You're just copying what I do. Find a graphic designer. When you find the graphic designer, we need the name and photo. We need 5 examples of their work, 2 paragraphs about the designer, and the site where you got the information, and then 3 thumbnail sketches. Spread it out. Don't do it all in one day. I always say that, and I know we're in school and we work and we have other things going on, but if you spread it out, you'll get better and more ideas. If you wait and only give yourself, I'm gonna work on this Thursday at 10 p.m. and give myself 2 hours, because he says it should only take you 2 hours. And so I'm gonna start it at 10, turn it in by midnight. You're gonna not be very creative. The way to be creative is you start it early and you let it stew in your brain. And then as you're doing stuff, you'll think of ideas like, oh, what if I did that? Oh, I saw this thing. I'm going to try to do that. I saw this thing on Instagram or on TikTok or wherever. And I was like, oh, that's a pretty cool idea. I can use that. So give yourself the time. I say this every class. I know it's one of those. And then you watch professionals, right? I would say you watch professional YouTubers, you know, those pros on YouTube. They'll tell you the same damn thing as I'm telling you. Got to spread it out. Give yourself secluded times to work and do that. If you're always doing it last minute and you're doing it like, I have 5 minutes to get this done, I just have to do it. That's how it's going to turn out. And if that's what your passion is, if your passion is to do this, do it. If your passion isn't to do it, then just do the 5-minute thing. That's fine. But if you're passionate about it, start telling people and giving yourself the time to do it. Hey, I need your support. Hey, friend. Hey, person. I need your support. I'm really excited to do this. I don't need to hear about this now. I need to work on my projects. You do this. You do your thing. I'm going to do my thing. So, all right. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, let me know. You know how to contact me. I will see you later. All right. Bye-bye.